Hey guys, this is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. So I'd like to start out my video again, as always, with a disclaimer. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Any products I mention, anything like that, were cleared for me personally by my doctor. Everybody's different. Some things that are safe for me might not be safe for you in your situation. So before you take any kind of supplements, medication, do any kind of changes, you should consult your doctor. I'm not a medical professional. This is my first pregnancy. And I don't know, I liked watching during the first couple weeks of my pregnancy. I really liked watching other people's videos where they kind of shared their experiences, what they went through in their first trimester. So I thought that I would do a video just kind of updating everyone on what's going on with my pregnancy and share my experiences so far. So I am 17 weeks right now, which means I'm in my second trimester. And I went to one of those private ultrasound places the other day. There's a really cool place called Baby Vision out here in Texas. And I'll share with you. There's baby. That was a couple days ago. So anyways, that was kind of fun. So yeah, I am, like I said, I'm 17 weeks pregnant. My pregnancy's been fairly uneventful, but I'll kind of just share what has happened. So one thing that I haven't really talked about is the fact that we did do IVF for this pregnancy. I can make another video about that if you have any kinds of questions about IVF, anything related to assisted reproduction, infertility, that kind of thing. This isn't the video for that. Don't quite want to get that in detail about all that. But, we did do only one cycle of IVF. We were lucky on our first round. And I knew that I was pregnant at 3 weeks, 5 days. I took my first pregnancy test a little bit early. I actually have it right here, so I know I'm kind of gross. I just keep this thing that I peed on taped to a book. It's really cool. But so this is the second one. Let's see if I can get it to show up here. So you can see this is the second one that I did. It was 3 weeks, 6 days, and you can see it was super faint. So the one that I did before that was at 3 weeks, 5 days, and I'm all kinds of blown out right there. Okay, so the first test that I did was at 3 weeks, 5 days, and it was a little bit lighter than that. And then I waited until 4 weeks, which was just, a few days later, and I did my blood test. And, it was pretty high. It was well within the normal range, so I was really happy about that. And then a couple days later, so when you do any kind of medical assisted fertility treatments, things like that, normally you'll do at 4 weeks, you'll do your first blood test to see if you do have HCG. And then 2 days later, they will just test it again to make sure that you're doubling and just that the pregnancy is progressing normally. So my second blood test, my HCG had actually not only doubled, it had just about tripled. I think that I was just a few tiny units short of tripling. And when I heard that, at first it freaked me out a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean I have twins? What's going on? And then I braced myself for, the higher the HCG, the higher the pregnancy symptoms and stuff like that. So I know that my mom had really bad morning sickness with me and my brother. So I was just like, oh, great. This is going to be fun. So, but no, I was overjoyed though. So any kind of worry about sickness, anything like that, I don't care. I was just so happy to be pregnant. So I did have a couple weeks of nausea. I was really tired. I would love to be able to put in this video like anything that I noticed that was different, the super early pregnancy symptoms. I did have like the sore breast, stuff like that, but a lot of that can also be attributed to the like hormones and stuff like that I was taking, because I did only have the one cycle. I don't know what the difference is between how I would have felt with an unsuccessful cycle versus a successful cycle. But I did have, like the first couple weeks, I did have some nausea, some throwing up. I was super tired. I am not the type of person to take a nap at all, like ever. And I found myself like falling asleep in the middle of the day and stuff like that. So that was like 4 to 6 weeks. And then I got to 6 weeks and all my symptoms went away. It was kind of crazy. Like I just felt totally normal. One other thing that I should mention, and this might also be kind of like an IVF thing, but like all of the hormones and stuff that I took, it was kind of weird, because I actually it really agreed with me, like all like pregnancy hormones and the hormones that I took for the egg retrieval and all that. And I actually felt a lot like, people always talk about how crazy they got and stuff. I actually felt really calm when I took it, so I don't know, I guess maybe it just balanced out my anxiety or something, but that was kind of a positive thing. So yeah, around 6 weeks I got kind of worried, because I was like, okay, great, like what's going on, why I was feeling something. And then I went out and I took like a bunch of like, I found like the pregnancy test that had like the lowest concentration possible, like the least sensitive test ever, so I could be like, okay, am I still pregnant? Like, because there's not really, I don't know, there's not really like, I couldn't believe that I was so lucky and that I was pregnant. So at 8 weeks we were able to go in and do another ultrasound, and the baby was measuring like a few days ahead. The heartbeat, I think I wrote it down. My first heartbeat was, I think it was like 129 beats per minute, which is good. That's within the healthy range. And so after that, again, not really too much to mention as far as symptoms go. But probably around like 9 weeks, I started noticing I would get like low blood sugar really bad. I normally am a really healthy eater. I don't really eat any, I stay away from gluten. I don't eat a lot of bread, junk food, stuff like that. It doesn't really agree with me. I don't know if it's just because I'm pregnant and so my immune response is down a little bit, because that's something that naturally happens. But I started eating more bread and stuff like that just because, and like junk food, because my blood sugar was low and I just wanted to eat something that would just like, get into my bloodstream and, like stop me from feeling dizzy and stuff like that. And around 10 weeks, I started noticing more around ligament pain, which is like, okay, I'm going to show you guys my little bump here. Here's my bump. But round ligament pain is kind of like pain like down in this area, like right around here. I started noticing more pain there around like 10 weeks, and it started to be more difficult for me to do things like pick up laundry baskets or kind of like get into lower cupboards and stuff like that. That's something that I really noticed. And then going forward at about 12 weeks, I noticed that it really started to hurt to bend over, and I think that's right around the time that your uterus, I don't know why, it really grosses me out that they describe it this way, but your uterus pops out of the uterine cavity and up into your pelvis or something like that. And I was just like, oh, okay, hi uterus. I guess that's what hurts. But yeah, and then around 13 weeks, I started noticing acid reflux, and I just take these little guys for that. Pepcid Complete, just over the counter acid reducing pills. That seems to help. But yeah, and then I don't know, I've been staying pretty active this whole pregnancy. Maybe that's something that helps with a lot of my symptoms. I've gone for like short runs and walks out in nature a lot. I started doing prenatal yoga at like 9 weeks. I look kind of crazy because all the other, women, girls, women, whatever, they had like their big bellies, and there was things that they obviously couldn't do. And then I was just like, if I'm 9 weeks pregnant, hey guys. But I just really, I wanted to just get a head start on it and make sure that I stayed active, because I've heard that that's supposed to really help with a lot of things, and that was all cleared by my doctor, stuff like that. Some people, like, if you haven't really been active before, I guess you're not really supposed to start, but it wasn't really something that was totally new for me. And then also the yoga place that I started going to is actually owned by an obstetrician, which is really cool. And then the instructor for my class, she's also a doula, so that's really cool. So one fun thing, baby is a girl. I did a NIPID test at, I believe it was 10 weeks. I was able to do my NIPID test, and what a NIPID test does is it analyzes your DNA versus the baby's DNA. So they take your blood, and then they just analyze it and see if there's any chromosomal abnormalities. And then obviously if they find a Y chromosome in your blood, then you're pregnant with a boy. If there's no Y chromosome, pregnant with a girl. And then we did actually confirm with the ultrasound. So that was really cool. And it's kind of weird because there was never really a doubt in my mind that I was having a girl. We only picked out, girl names. I was just like, nope, it's a girl. My yoga instructor, she was like, as I said, she's a doula, and she was like, no, I get like girl vibes from you. Everybody was telling me that. So I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm really excited about that. As far as any other, so that's the thing that I thought was like wild, was I was so certain I was having a girl, but I was having no symptoms. And everyone always says that if you're pregnant with a girl, you get way worse nausea, just way worse morning sickness. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just a boy baby. That's why I'm not really having any morning sickness or anything like that. So, right at the tail end of my first trimester, though, like right around 13 weeks, I started getting really gnarly migraines. And I actually went to the ER because we were going on a road trip and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if the headaches could mean there's something bigger wrong. And they prescribed me something at first, but I wasn't really comfortable with taking that. And then when I went in at 15 weeks for another checkup, and my doctor actually just told me to go ahead and have under 200 milligrams of caffeine a day, and that should be fine. Before that, I don't know, caffeine kind of makes me a little anxious. I'm not a big caffeine person to begin with. And then I know that caffeine is linked to like low birth weight and miscarriage. So I was just, I don't know, I just didn't want to risk it, but So I have been drinking more caffeine, and I've noticed that I haven't gotten migraines as much. So yeah, just the caffeine and Tylenol, which is weird because I've never been a fan of Tylenol. Tylenol is like the one pain reliever for me that does not work. It has worked a little bit for some of my headaches and stuff, but when the Tylenol doesn't work, the caffeine usually seems to kind of do their trick with a lot of the headaches. And then the other thing, stay hydrated. I drink like 3 of these a day. I think it's 32 ounces, not totally sure. But yeah, I have like 3 of my Yetis a day full of water and some kind of hydration supplement. And cramping. That is another thing. I actually, I take magnesium for a lot of the cramping, and there's actually a company that sent me some cream, like a magnesium cream, and that actually works really well too. I'll post another video with a review of that cream specifically. I wanted to use it for like a little bit longer before I really like gave an opinion on it, but so far I really like it, so that helps. But yeah, like just cramping in like my foot and my calves and stuff like that, Charlie horses, or like in my hand for some reason. Like I'll be driving and my hand just cramps up super bad. So yeah, anyways, if you have, like I said, I do plan on making another video really kind of detailing my infertility journey, or that's what everyone always calls it, and going through, we are also a military family, so we are on TRICARE. So if you have any questions about TRICARE when it comes to any infertility things, I'm very familiar with it. I can answer excuse me, that's another pregnancy thing there. Hiccuping and burping. It's lovely. But yeah, any kind of like TRICARE questions, stuff like that, I can also answer those. I'm pretty knowledgeable about all that. I'm like obsessive about going to all my doctor's appointments and making sure that I kind of do everything by the book. And then, the great pregnancy prenatal too that I take is my light is so bright. There we go, kind of. Nope. I don't know why it's doing this today. There we go. The Smarty Pants Organic. They are citrus flavored. They used to be cherry flavored. They were organic ones. I bought them because they were cherry flavored and they were really good. They still taste good. But yes, so I love those. I also take an iron supplement, which my doctor recommended for me to take with orange juice because I guess vitamin C helps your body to absorb the iron better. And then, like I said, the magnesium supplement. I believe it's like I take ferrous sulfate and then magnesium citrate is the other one, I believe. So yeah, that's it. That's my first trimester so far. If you have any questions, like I said, go ahead and ask them down below. And as always, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And of course, you can always follow me on Instagram at honeybeeroyale. Okay, thanks guys.